What's up, people? I passed the ISC2 Certified in Cybersecurity exam in just 2 weeks with zero cybersecurity experience and while working a full-time job. In this video, I'll show you exactly how I did it, the study tools I used, and the tips that helped me pass, so you can hopefully do the same. So stay tuned if you want a better chance of passing the ISC2 Certified in Cybersecurity. So my name is Dante. I come from a finance background and currently transitioning into a cybersecurity type role. I'm looking to eventually become some type of GRC specific role, whether that be auditing, analyst, etc. But at this point, I'm doing whatever I can to get into the industry. I have zero experience in cybersecurity, but I do have the drive and will to learn. This channel is going to be all about documenting my journey to becoming a GRC analyst, the wins, the struggles, and everything in between. If you're stuck in a job that you don't love, or you know isn't for you, if you've always had an interest in some type of cybersecurity, or if you just want to see that it's possible to pivot careers and make it in 2025 or any year thereafter, then this channel is going to be for you. So the ISC2 Certified in Cybersecurity is an entry-level cert. It covers 5 domains: security principles, business continuity and disaster recovery, access controls, network security, and security operations. I'm not going to go into the details of each domain in this video, but if you want to break down of each domain, make sure you subscribe, because I can make a separate video just for that. Now, before I go into the tools that I use to pass this exam, I do want to do a quick reality check. The ISC2 Certified in Cybersecurity won't land you a job, right, by itself, but it will give you a solid foundation. And when I say you, I should say us, right, because I'm still at a point where I'm trying to get into the industry. So let's just say it will give us a silent foundation. It's going to help us figure out if cybersecurity is right for you, and the most important of it all, it's free. In my opinion, absolutely no reason to not go and take the test and study for the exam. 8-step guide to using the ISC2 course, and this guide is going to be how I found the course most useful. Yeah, so step 1, apply to the course. Once accepted to the course, all the course material that you'll need, and the first thing that you're going to need to do is take the pretest. This is important because this gauges where you are, what you know, and of course what you need to work on. You're going to go through each domain until you hit competency. If you don't know what competency is, you will know what it is once you start taking that course. ISC2 uses AI to determine, if you're competent in a specific domain. So yeah, just go through each domain until you hit competency. Once you hit competency in each domain, you're going to go back to domain 1 through 5, and you're going to finish all of the questions for the domain, even if you are competent, just to get that repetition, understand the questions, and get all of the course material that you can. There's no reason not to. Review the questions that you got wrong for each domain. So reviewing the questions is just going back, looking at what you got wrong, and most importantly, understanding why it's wrong. Again, this is it's an entry-level exam, so there's a lot of information, and it's broad. So understanding concepts is going to help you understand why you got the question wrong. So yeah, going to be retake that pre-test and compare your scores to your initial pre-test. I'd say if you're hitting 90% on that pretest at this point, and actually I'll even go down. If you're 85% on that pretest, you're on the right track, is what I should say. You're going to take the final assessment. The final assessment is 100 questions, 120 minutes, so it's structured like the actual exam. See where you are. I know you probably want some numbers, so I'd say if you're at 80%, you're on track. You're gonna review all of the questions that you got wrong. You're gonna, try to understand why that question is wrong, and the concepts that you don't understand, if that makes sense. What you're really going to want to do is focus on your weak domains. This is a very important part. My weak domain was network security, as I have no experience with cyber at all. So I really focused in and did some extra studying on that section, really understanding each question and why I got them incorrect. Quick tip. There are flashcards in ISC2's course, but I recommend making your own based on what you personally need to memorize. That is going to be way more effective, in my opinion. The flashcards in the course goes over everything. You don't need to know everything. You need to know what you don't know. If you're 100% competent in let's just say domain 1, well, you don't need every domain 1 flashcards. So I would not recommend using ISC2's flashcards. I recommend creating your own based on what you're struggling with at that point. So the next resource that I used is LinkedIn Learning Mike Chappell. So you can sign up for LinkedIn Premium. The first 30 days are free. You won't need 30 days to review the content of Mike Chappell. So go ahead and sign up for that if you haven't, or if you're a LinkedIn Premium member, you can just go ahead and go to the learning page and you'll have access to that. I recommend watching, the course. It's about a 5-hour course. I recommend watching it on 1.25 to 1.5 speed, since you already understand the basics, right? Because you've already gone through that ISC2 course. It's very beginner friendly, and Mike Chappell does a phenomenal job of breaking down some of those concepts that are harder to understand when you're reading and watching short videos. And he does a great job of applying them to real world scenarios. The next tool you're going to use is Udemy practice test. Some money to get those practice tests. I was fortunate to go through my employer and have it for free. A Udemy course that is 600 questions with 600 questions, 6 tests, right? It's 100 questions per test, and you can take them in exam or practice mode. I recommend taking them in exam mode, as if you're taking the actual exam, just so you're more comfortable when the exam day comes. The most important part of taking these exams is understanding what you don't understand. Start reviewing your wrong answers immediately after each test. This is where you're going to learn the most and retain the most. For me, for these Udemy exams, I started in the mid 70s, so around 75%. By the end, so I was in the high 80% before the actual exam. So I think that information might help you gauge where you are in the process or where you need to be to pass. Again, this is not a guarantee, but the fact that I passed and I was at that point can help you gauge where you should or hope to be. Next study tool that you'll need, and I mentioned this a little earlier, is flashcards. Make flashcards based on your weak spots, based on what you can't remember, based on what it's hard for you to remember. My struggles, just for example, were key ports, certain types of attacks, cloud service models, OSI, TCP/IP models. So yeah, point being, whatever you find that it's hard for you to retain or memorize, just go ahead and make some flashcards for that. Because again, the test is a very general test, so you never know what questions they're going to ask you. It's good to know a little bit of everything. Review those flashcards throughout the days leading up to your exam. I would take, you know, 30 minutes to an hour just looking over the flashcards, going through them maybe once, twice a day. That study tool that I used was on YouTube, and his name is Prob Nair. It was a big part in me passing and understanding some of those network security concepts. So again, that's Prob Nair on YouTube. Great for reinforcing tough topics. Again, I recommend you watch the domains that you're struggling with. Because at this point, you know what you understand and you know what you need some extra help with. So just focus on those concepts that you're struggling with. You can watch the video at 1.25 to 1.5 speed. Right? You could watch it at normal speed, but I tend to watch videos at a faster speed so I can skip over some of the stuff that I don't need to really focus on. Do his practice quizzes on his page. He's going to have all 5 domains, which he goes through so you can understand it, and then he's going to have quizzes for each of those domains. I recommend you do the practice quizzes for all of the domains, even if there's some domains that you already understand, because it doesn't hurt to take. I'm a big advocate in taking tests and understanding what's wrong, so it doesn't hurt to take a couple of quizzes, and they don't take a lot of time, right? If you're skipping through it, it takes 10 minutes at most, so it doesn't hurt to do. If you use all of those study resources, you should be on track to passing the exam. Exam tips: the night before the exam, review your flashcards. Again, if the night before the exam, you should be very prepared, but it doesn't hurt to have flashcards just so you remember those little things. It might pop up in an exam. So review those night before the exam, and even review it the day of if you can. Go in confident. You put in the work at this point. You've done the studying. You've put in the hours. You have to be 100% confident when you go into the exam center. Expect a lot of questions saying most or least. Read carefully. You're going to want to read carefully and read each individual answer before answering, because you cannot go back in the exam. So once you click a question, or once you click an answer, choose an answer, you can't go back. And for those most or least questions, it's easy to think that you're right away until you read another answer that's just a little bit better. I have 120 minutes for 100 questions, which in my experience and what I've seen from a lot of people is more than enough time for you to take the exam. You're talking about each question that you think you know is right, but you're not sure. Now, for questions that you don't know, because I did have some of those where I knew I didn't know the answer at all, just go ahead and choose your best guess. There's no point in wasting time and trying to figure out something that you don't know, right? It's just going to give you, if you just go ahead and take that guess, it'll give you more time for those harder questions that you can figure out if you have a couple of more minutes. With all of that said, I want you to remember that I have 0 experience in cybersecurity. I studied for 2 weeks while working full-time and passed on my first try. If you follow this plan and put in the work, I promise you that you can do the same. Now, you can hold me to that. Again, you have to hold yourself accountable. When I say put in the work, put in the hours. Really understand each concept and go into the exam confident. Hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I'll be documenting every step of my journey into cybersecurity. Drop any questions you have in the comments. I'll do my best to help you out, and thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video.